Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1698. I'm two live shows away from 1700 days in a row. I come to you consecutive days in order to bring morsels of a thought of what is hopefully wisdom, hopefully that we may know the right things to do in our lives. I concentrate mostly on women dating men on Tuesdays and Thursdays, TR Tuesday, TR Thursday, with Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider's books. Not Your Mother's Rules, which is uh, The New Secrets for Dating. Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, New York Times best-selling authors of The Rules, are now with their daughters too. And we are going to read in here, not number 10,001. Okay. Answers to frequently asked questions about the rules. Now, when we do the right thing, it's a form of magic. Action of the right thing to do is called committing virtue, committing acts of virtue. I want to bring more virtue into the world, and so far so good. Chapter 6, Answers to Frequently Asked Questions About the Rules. We've tried to address every conceivable scenario about today's dating world in this book, but here we've pulled the most commonly asked questions we get in our consulting service. So when they publish it in the book, hopefully they get to do more content other than these, right? Some of this content has been discussed already, say the authors, specifically or generally. Regardless, this section is meant to be a quick and helpful reference guide for you while you're practicing the rules. Now, the rules concept is to let the man chase the woman because men seem to like it better anyway. They like it better, even no matter what they say. Don't look at what they say. Don't do that. Just look at what they do. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. And okay, question. A guy texted me, "Hey, want to hang out sometime?" And I wrote back, "Sure," but never heard from him again. How do I get him to follow through? Answer. You don't. If a guy asks about getting together but never gets specific after you agree to it, he is a time waster. Next. We know women who write back, "Yes, comma, when, question mark." Or, "Great, comma, I am free Thursday and Friday this week and Wednesday next week." Thinking that will get him to commit, but it doesn't. Just write back, "Sure," and whatever will be, will be. Trying to pin a guy down never works long term. He might feel obligated or guilty and agree to meet then, but if you have to push him, then it's not meant to be. Remember, guys text lots of women out of boredom while waiting in line at the bank. Maybe the girl he really likes became available, and that's why he never followed up. Accept it and move on. It's good for you. Move on. Some questions. Some of my friends think the rules are crazy and pressure me to text guys or ask them out. What should I do? Answer. You don't need to discuss your dating strategy with these friends. Just change the subject or say you're not using any strategy in particular. You can say, "What rules?" It's hard enough to do the rules with a supportive network. The last thing you need is criticism from or controversy with your BFF. Try to find even just one rules-minded friend, join a support group, see our website, www.therulesbook.com, for rules contacts around the world, or look into rules online forums, blogs, phone meetings, etc. There are rules contacts for teens, 20-year-olds, baby boomers, and divorced women. It's a good idea to email contacts and discuss your dating behavior so you are accountable and not off on your own. Doing the rules can be lonely if you are the only one of your friends not texting guys all day or hooking up. If there is no contact in your area, you can start a group or sign up to become a rules dating coach and run seminars in your area to meet more rules girls and support each other. Question. The guy I am crazy about found the rules book in my bedroom. What do I do? Answer. If he likes you, he won't care. If he asks a lot of questions, just say that you signed up for a seminar or something a long time ago and forgot all about it. Don't worry, if a guy thinks you are pretty, whether you do yoga, knitting, or the rules, he will think it's cute and interesting. We certainly don't suggest volunteering any information about your dating strategies, but if he finds out, so be it. It's so not a deal breaker. Question. Is it okay to use emoticons? Any guidance on text speak? Answer. Emoticons are great for friends, but we suggest rarely using them with guys because they show a lot of interest. Keep it simple. Just use a smiley face to say congrats and a frown for sorry you are sick. And leave it at that. Sorry. We support using abbreviations like TTYL or LOL, as these make you seem too busy to write full words and long sentences. Excuse me. You should always write fewer words than he does. Question. How often should I be logging on to the dating website I'm using? Pardon me. The answer to that is 1 or 2 times a day is plenty, but never on weekends. Online dating should not be your whole life, just part of it. Keep in mind that on some sites, other users can see the last time you logged on, but even if you did log on 10 times on one boring day, don't worry about it too much. As long as you are not reaching out to guys first, it's not the worst thing in the world and won't stop a guy from pursuing you. He might even think you're always on because lots of guys are writing to you. I've had 3 dates, question mark. Question. I've had 3 dates with a guy and he keeps texting about future dates, but I don't feel anything. Should I keep going out with him or end it? Answer. The rules are not about dating a guy you don't like. Dating is not a charity. Just say, you seem really nice, but I don't feel a spark. Sorry, and good luck. The next time he asks you out. If you think he is really nice, you can fix him up with a friend. We're reading Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom, number 1698. And we're reading from Fein and Sherrie Schneider's book, Not Your Mother's Rules, The New Secrets for Dating. And we're reading Commonly Asked Questions. Question. A guy in my office stares at me and always sits next to me at staff meetings and tells me funny jokes. This has been going on since I started working these 3 months, since I started working there 3 months ago. How do I get him to ask me out? The answer is you can't. Some guys like to cook, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're interested. Some have girlfriends or are married but don't wear a ring, and some are just bored. It's a fantasy relationship. If a guy doesn't ask you out, question. I've been going to singles events, speed dating, and dating online for the last 9 months and have not met anyone I am crazy about. The few guys I do like have not approached me. How much longer do I have to do this whole get dressed up and go out thing? It's exhausting and frustrating. How do I get myself to keep going when I have nothing to show for it? Answer. Being single is like kind of like being unemployed. You don't stop looking until you are hired or until you meet Mr. Right. If a client tells us that she is taking a break from going out or is canceling her OK Cupid membership, we ask why. Typically, she will say, I'm not meeting anyone good. We think this response is completely irrational. You won't meet anyone if you stop going out altogether. Just make it a part of your routine, rain or shine, that you try to meet available men once or twice a week. Make it like going to the gym twice a week, whether or not you feel like it. If you went to the gym only when you felt like it, you probably would not be in good shape. But most people want to get fit even if they hate going to the gym, right? Question. When a guy says, text me, or don't be a stranger, or friend me on Facebook, is it okay to contact him? The answer is no, it's not. He still has to contact you. Doing any of the above would still be initiating. Guys who make this suggestion either have been spoiled by non rules girls in the past or are hoping you will do the legwork to keep the relationship going because they're not interested enough. Don't fall for these lines. Guys also say, I like it when a woman makes the first move, but they don't usually marry that woman. Don't listen to what men say. Watch what they do. Men love a challenge, so be a challenge by ignoring these requests. You say, sure, and you don't. Question. Why do guys ask for my number and never call me? Answer. He's not interested, but he may have wanted to be polite or end the conversation without hurting her feelings. Sometimes a guy will take your number at a party, but meet someone he likes better later on. Some guys collect numbers just for the conquest of it or to brag to his friends. I got 8 numbers last night. Maybe he plans to use it someday when he is lonely or bored or for a booty call. If a guy has your number and doesn't use it within a week or two, he doesn't like you enough. Don't think about it too much. Just move on. Question. A new guy who got my number texted me for the first time on Friday at 7 p.m. Can I write back 4 hours later on Friday at 11 p.m.? Answer, no. Just like there are blackout periods on airline mile usage, there are blackout periods on communication with guys, specifically Friday, 6 p.m. to Sunday, 6 p.m. Otherwise, you will end up in a texting chat fest with a guy who might be texting 5 other girls on a Saturday night and wasting your time. Wait until Saturday night and text back, "Hi, super busy weekend. Just getting back to you. Dot dot dot." Here's a question. A guy contacted me through an online dating site or email or Facebook and said, "Here's my number. You can text me." Should I bother writing back? The answer is, first of all, don't be insulted that he is not asking for your number. Maybe other women have spoiled him by texting him first, or he thinks you don't want to give out your number for safety reasons. Whatever the reason, just email him back, "Okay, great, and here's my number as well, dot, dot, dot," and then wait for him to contact you. Don't say, "I'm not going to text you first, you have to text me." We don't tell men our dating strategy. We're supposed to want we're supposed to make people want us more, not less. That's why we end the conversations first. That's why we end the phone calls first. That's why we end the dates first. Sometimes it's a little strategy. You have to be careful here. You're thinking he's already kind of reaching for his pocket, for his wallet, etc. You're kind of going, so you say, "Oh, we should get going soon." Or you say, I have a good one. I have a good one. I have, "Oh no, I left my burner on the stove," and rush out. But that's only if you really just don't like the guy and you really want to run. So that's for coffee dates. D0 is for the first time you actually meet in person after writing online. D0, because that's just the meeting point. So at that point, the authors and the coaches have been saying that the coffee date is the best thing because it's set up to be like about 45 minutes, 15 minutes to 45 minutes long. So it's not like a dinner where you have to sit there for 2 hours or 1 hour if you don't really particularly have any interest in a guy. So we don't tell men our dating strategy. It's like saying, I have an ace of hearts. I have a seven of clubs. Duh, you don't tell people that. Question. You mentioned that we get, quote, one text or call for closure, end quote. I was dating a guy for 2 months. We were not exclusive, and he suddenly stopped calling 3 weeks ago. Can I get in touch with him for closure? The answer is no. Not hearing a guy for 3 weeks is closure. You don't have to find out why or make the breakup any more official. The only time to quote make one call for closure is when a guy ends a committed, exclusive relationship and you later realize that you broke some rules and you want him back. In that case, you would just text him, "Hey, how's everything going?" and see if he shows any interest in talking or meeting up. If he does, just act really light and breezy and stop whatever behavior you believe turned him off. If he doesn't want to talk or meet, then move on and don't break rules in your next relationship. We're reading from Not Your Mother's Rules: The New Secrets for Dating and with Their Daughters Too by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. And this is morsels of a thought of wisdom, hopefully that women that are dating men get to know the right things to do for themselves, and then committing these acts are like committing acts of virtue. It's not just like, it is. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do. Virtue is doing it. Okay. Question. I am madly in love with a guy I have been dating for 6 months. Is it okay to give him my password to Facebook or my iPhone to show him that we have a good relationship and no secrets? And should I ask him for his password to prove that he loves me? The answer is no. It's not the rules in any way to have no boundaries or privacy. Love is not about being an open book, ever. Giving a guy your password is like giving him the key to your diary. In fact, it's often a recipe for disaster because it can lead to a breakup if either of you comes across potentially hurtful messages or texts. Being a rules girl means being discreet. Now, I'll say a word about boundaries. A lot of the time, women who have a little bit of trouble doing the rules also have trouble setting boundaries with their toxic friends if they have toxic friends in their lives. When people have toxic friends in their lives, those people aren't actually friends. Those people are actually time wasters. You don't realize it because you're attached or you've been hanging out with them for 50 years. I mean, literally, I've known, how long have I known that guy? I've known him for 47 years. So yeah, you know, golly, 50 years, 53. You know, a lot of times and then if it turns out that the friend is being toxic, it's not that you don't like them anymore. You just don't like their behavior at all, and you have to avoid that. So that's a pitfall, not having boundaries. You need boundaries. The question here is it okay to contact guys on an online dating website just to say hi and ask them to look at my profile? There are thousands of women out there. The chances of my showing up in a guy's search are really slim. I feel like the only chance I have is to reach out first and then do the rules by waiting for him to ask me out. The answer is, we understand how you feel, but it's not the rules to contact the guy first for any reason. If your profile doesn't appear in his search, then oh well, it wasn't meant to be. Any kind of contacting a guy first on a dating site is making the first move, showing that you like him, his profile, and thus you will never know if he would have pursued you on his own. It's just like tapping on a guy's shoulder at a party to make sure he notices you because there are so many other women in the room. Part of the rules is trusting in the universe that a guy will find you and that you don't have to make anything happen. They talk about the universe. A lot of people call it God. A lot of people call it spirituality. But in the universe, think about it. We were born, we're female or male. There are other people of the opposite gender. And eventually we can find somebody and they can find us. Eventually, if we meet enough people. And that's the reason not to stop the dating. Anyway, the question here is, what's a rulesy way to handle video chats? And then the answer is, like with everything else, less is more with video chatting. The first time a guy FaceTimes you, say, I don't really like it. If he asks why you declined, use one of these excuses. Quote, my Wi-Fi is not working, end quote. Or, I'm not in the mood. Or, this is a bad time. Or, nah, not today. Or, I have my phone on speaker and I'm doing other things. If he tries again, you can accept once for every 3 times and do it for only 10 minutes at a time. If he can see you every time he calls, he will get bored. If a guy insists that you video chat with him, then he's a buyer beware. Any guy who tries to make you feel guilty about it is obnoxious and not for you anyway. We have to learn to recognize these sorts of things. Sometimes we go out with people that are actually very obnoxious and we don't realize it until somebody else points out, hey, you know what, Ying? Kevin is really mean to you. I'm like, you're kidding. Look at the way he talks to you. It's true. He doesn't say please and thank you. Hmm. And then you start to realize it yourself. Okay. Next question is asking a guy out ever okay? The answer is no. The only exception is if you need a date to the prom or your sorority date party or it's a Sadie Hawkins dance. In these rare cases, we suggest you invite a platonic friend, not someone you have a crush on. Don't attempt to use these parties to launch the love of your life, or you may get hurt if he said yes only for the event but doesn't feel the same way about you. Also, asking a guy to marry you is completely out of the question. Disregard any leap year folk tales that say it's a sign of good luck. The rules trumps any superstition. There's one more question. A dating blogger suggested I tell guys by the third date that I am marriage minded and looking for a serious commitment so that I don't waste time with someone just looking for a casual relationship. Do you agree? The authors say, no, we don't. We think it's premature and crazy not only to put all your cards on the table, but also to grill him so soon. Most guys will find it TMI and run. We think it's better to possibly waste time on a few dates than to scare him away with future talk. When you do the rules by acting light and breezy and ending dates first, a guy who likes you will automatically bring up his intentions. He might drop hints like, you're going to love my mother's lasagna, or my best friend is getting married in June. Are you around this summer? A guy's intentions cannot be found out by revealing your hand, but rather by listening for his clues. The same guy who might have been interested will probably change his mind if you ask him point blank where the relationship is going on the third date. And most certainly, a lot of people have this little new superstition thing about how um, they say what do they say? They say, uh, 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 the third date, the number three is yeah, an E back, no, 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 no. Okay, so here we are. We'll see you on Wednesday for Words and Wisdom Wednesday tomorrow. Okay, old Kinderhook.